Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya. Sim, thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are doing great. So I came across a video. You all remember that I brought this woman's video about how Indians do not appreciate people that look like me. And it happened that a lot she is getting a lot of hate speech and all that because of that. And then she also, a black person dropped a comment for her saying that we blacks are not liked everywhere. So we just leave. We are tired, really. And so she was elaborating on it. And then people that are trying to make her feel like she doesn't know what she is saying, are you people okay? Or you all are just trying to cover up? It's just like probably seeing where a black person is talking about, or someone is talking about probably how an African person behaved towards them and all that. And I am looking for a way to, like, come for you instead of looking for a way to tackle the problem. Does that even solve anything? It doesn't solve anything. Check around, look around. You absolutely will see that you all have really one way or the other. I mean, denigrated people that look like me. And the fact that this thing just does not happen in just one place. When you look around and ask questions, you also will find the same kind of people, the same race, coming for people that look like me, just probably because they feel like I don't know, but I mean, you all are, your skin is closer to mine. So what is all this brouhaha that you all go around doing? I mean, it doesn't make sense. Let's get into this video.
Hi, guys. So, I've been reading through some of my comments from the video I made about anti Black racism specifically within the Indian community. It still remains one of my most watched video. I'm new to TikTok, so I only just started my channel, and I've been getting a lot of comments that are similar to the one that you see on the screen. Now, this comment says, you know, I'm really tired. We blacks are hated everywhere, and we're just tired. And I just really felt the weariness of that comment. I really just felt it. And I received a lot of comments like this that were some variation of it. So I just want to first of all acknowledge that racism does place a very heavy weight on people's lives, on their minds, their hearts, their psyches. And, depending on what kind of racism it is, it can really destroy so much of a person's spirit. So when I made that video, it was not with the intention of adding more weight to the burden of race and racism and hate in this world. I made that video within the context of why do so many Indian people support Trump? And my opinion, from what I know, from what I have lived, from what I have experienced, from what I've read, is the conclusion I came to is that a lot of Indian people support Trump because they align with right wing ideologies. So, Hindu fascism is a thing. I don't know how far it goes back, but there's a lot of documentation about it. And just take, for example, the caste system, which goes back 2,000 years. Well, it is no leap now to say, yeah, I can see that Indian people are racist. I can see that they are sexist. I can see that, there's a hierarchy, and this hierarchy is very rigid. So let me just say that, you know, in terms of the right wing ideologies, Indian women get treated really badly as well. And Indian people also treat their own people really badly based on numerous factors, based on skin color, based on caste, based on, religion. There's a lot of animosity and hatred from the Hindus to the Muslims, and then vice versa. It's a really class based system, which is the caste system is class but it's also so much more. Now, I've also been asked, hey, can you tell us what exactly Indian people, what do they say? What kinds of things do they say? Can you be more specific? And I got a few of those comments as well. Now, I'm not going to get into the nuts and bolts of it because honestly don't think that would be contributing anything positive to the dialogue. It's just like, if somebody is racist towards me, because I've experienced a lot of racism, I've experienced even more sexism, starting from within my own family, because girls and women in Indian culture are treated abhorrently. They are treated as, in a lot of instances, less than the value of a cow. Sad to say, but it's true. So when people hold these views towards me, it's not really going to help me to know what exactly they are saying. All I need to know is that they are operating from a space of lack and fear, and it says more about them than it does about me. Now, there is an interview that Toni Morrison, the great, brilliant Toni Morrison, gave with Charlie Rose, I believe. And he was, asking her these questions about race and racism, etc. And she so eloquently stated, if somebody else has to have me on my knees so that they can feel big and tall and strong, so that they can feel good about themselves, well, then that's a problem that they need to solve. She said, take me out of the equation. Like, just remove me out of that equation. That's something that you need to deal with. Like that, the person who is being racist. That's a problem that they need to deal with. It's not her problem to deal with. And that stayed with me. And I do think that that is true. Now, for me personally, I have experienced more sexism and misogyny than I have racism, although I have experienced both. And I find that the best way to navigate it is to come to the understanding that these beliefs are fueled from a sense of lack and disempowerment in the person holding those beliefs. It's no reflection on me at all, which doesn't mean I'm going to tolerate bad behavior. It just means that I'm not going to take their burden onto myself. I'm not going to take their burden of racism and sexism onto me. And you know, when we talk about Indians adhering to right wing ideologies, I'm going to talk about my grandmother, my maternal grandmother, for 1 second here. So, we grew up in South Africa. So she was pulled out of school at a very young age. Like it might have been like standard 2 or standard 3. So for North Americans, that would be grade 3, grade 4, around that age. She was not educated very much at all because in my lineage, it was believed that for girls to go to school, that would be, it's a waste of time. She got married at the age of 15. So why would she need to go to school? She was pulled out and she was taught how to, I don't know, do whatever it was she was taught how to do. So, it doesn't matter that she didn't read the Vedas and the Upanishads and she knew nothing about Manu's laws. But I could see in my lineage, I can see now that all of those things were operating, Manu's laws were operating in my grandmother's life, in my great grandmother's life, because it was passed down through belief system rather than formal education. Like nobody taught her about the caste system. It's an inherent belief that, you're just indoctrinated with this belief from the time you are, you're a child, and then you go on and it just gets passed down through the generations. So getting back to this comment and comments like this, it was not my intention to add to the weight of racism. It was not meant to be a microaggression or to fuel any type of racial animosity. It was to shine a light on a specific issue that I was talking about, which is why do so many Indian people support Trump? And it's because they align with his right-wing ideologies. So yeah, I hope that clears some of this up, and thanks for watching. Morning, guys. So I spent the better part of this morning having a conversation in my messages with a South African Indian lady. Now, since I made my video about anti-Black racism, specifically in the Indian community, I have been receiving a lot of comments, largely by South African Indians, from what I can understand. And basically, a lot of these comments are vitriolic, they're hateful, they're not rooted in reality, and furthermore, they are accusing me of inciting racial hatred and violence in South Africa. Now, I have an extremely small TikTok account. I don't even have 3,000 followers. The video that I made was in a context of why do so many Indian people support Trump. So I made a couple of videos before that one, and I made a couple after that one. Another thing is, I cannot speak to what is going on in present day South Africa. I was a kid, I grew up under apartheid, and we immigrated to Canada when I was about 12 or 13 years old. It was not my decision to immigrate. I had no say in the matter. My parents decided to immigrate and they did not consult with me. So, you know, I'm just getting all these really unhinged comments. So I guess my first question would be to South African Indians is perhaps you guys should open up a dialogue on promoting racial harmony. Perhaps you guys should make videos about it. What is it like living in present day South Africa? What are the race relations like? How do Indian people feel about the history of the country, etc., etc.? I cannot make those videos because I do not live in South Africa. We left when I was 12. So what I am speaking about are my experiences, not only in South Africa growing up under apartheid, but I'm also speaking about my experiences living in Canada and being a part of various communities of Indian people. I have had friends who are Indian. I have dated Indian guys. I have been parts of different Indian communities. And regardless of where they come from in the world, because Canada has a large Indian population from everywhere. So we have Fijians, Guyanese, Trinidadians, etc., etc. And then we also have people from India, from various parts of India. So there does seem to be a common theme with Indian people holding beliefs that are rooted in right-wing ideologies that are supported by a hatred of women, misogyny, and a discriminatory view on other people that is racially based. It is due to the caste system. So when I'm getting all these vitriolic comments like, well, there's racism everywhere and, blah, blah, blah. And why am I talking about South Africa? And, it's not like that anymore, etc., etc. Okay, well, I'm sure there is racism in a lot of different countries in the world, but I am talking about my experiences. I am not, somebody who grew up in a certain country and, experienced, say, racism in Europe or in Italy or whatever. I mean, I am an Indian woman, an Indian girl growing up under apartheid. So I am going to talk about what I know, what I experienced, what pertains to me, what interests me, what I can speak on. But to Indian South Africans, perhaps you should start these conversations. Perhaps you should start these videos. Perhaps you should open up dialogues with other races in South Africa, with, say, the Afrikaners, with, say, the different, racial groups that are in there, blacks, coloreds, etc. That is not for me to do. I do not live in South Africa. So, yeah, I mean, to me, it seems like a lot of the comments that I'm getting, they are rooted in denial. And this particular lady that I was having a conversation with this morning in my, in my comments section, from what I could gather, because she wouldn't answer the question fully, is that she supports Trump and she supports the GOP. Because, according to her, they have more common sense. And I ended the conversation right there. And I said, well, we have no further way to proceed in this conversation, because I personally am not going to have a conversation with people who support taking away my rights as a woman, as a visible minority, etc., etc. And I also don't support the homophobia, the just the millions of things that are going on currently with the Trump administration. So no, there is nothing to talk about, because we obviously don't share the same ideologies, and we don't share the same values. So I am not going to waste my time trying to talk to somebody who is okay and supports me having my human rights stripped away from me. I am not going to do that. Now, if that person wants to do that, that's fine. But this person responded to me with a very vitriolic statement, saying that because I don't want to talk to somebody who has different values than me, then I'm hateful and vitriolic and I want to kill everybody. I'm like, wow, that's like a big leap over there, but perhaps that says something more about your state of mind than mine. I never said such things. I don't even think any of those things. However, I do know that, if I have radically different values from somebody else, there is no point in me having a conversation with them. I don't have to do that. And furthermore, it's just a waste of my time and energy. So, yeah, to all the Indian South Africans, I'm talking about my experiences, which I have every right to do. They are valid, they are true. And, I think that you guys should start making videos, and you guys should open up dialogues with different, communities wherever you live, and post them online. That's a great way to start a dialogue. I'm sure there are lots of other ways to do it, but attacking me for speaking my truth is not going to solve anything, because basically what the feeling I'm getting is like you guys are just telling me, well, just don't talk about your experiences. Don't talk about, the reality of what I've gone through, what I know, what I've been privy to, all these different conversations. And I'm talking about it. And I haven't even started talking about the way Indian societies treat women, but I am going to do that as well. So, yeah.
This is all I got from this video. And I brought her video sometime before. I will look for a way to link it for those that do not. Probably if you missed it. Now, I am going to say this. This woman is speaking the truth, because I have been the one posting some certain things about how some people think about people that look like me. So it is not a new thing that Indians probably feel some kind of way or react or behave some type of way about people that look like me. I think you guys should just already know that. And there is no need denying it, or there is no need trying to make us feel like it has not been happening, or it's something new, or something you have not heard, or story. See, I am not going to like, but sometimes it is really, really very like it weakens me kind of to see that people that, there are some people that you look closer to. I don't know if that does make sense, you feel like they are supposed to be your safe space, or they are also supposed to be people that you as in, like, we all can always call up on if there is anything going on, seeing those kind of people kind of treat you some type of way is just really, I mean, like, it weakens you. And sometimes you are like, am I really that strong to face all of this? Am I really, like, how do I navigate through all of this? You people are not the ones at the receiving end. My people are the ones at the receiving end. And they know where it hurts. For this person to say, we blacks are not like anywhere, so we just leave, we tired, really. And I am not gonna lie. Everyone is tired of the whole thing going on. If you also look around, I have also brought videos some time ago, like, when I started this channel, or 2 years ago, about an Indian woman who was, like, what do they call that? Like, when you're, her family, like, rejected her. There is actually a particular word for it, right? And I am going, if I remember it, I will call it, disown. They disown her, I meant to say. They disown her just for being with a black man. So you can imagine your parents that are not even white. Their skin and my skin are almost like the same. I don't know if you get that, telling you that I am going to disown you because you are getting married to a black person that his or her skin color or tone is like nearest to yours. That is just like the weakest thing I've ever, like, it is not because the person has bad character, or because you find out that their family have some kind of lineage or something that they do, or there is something thrown in and out. No, there is nothing like that. But it's just because, like, you are supposed to maybe you are not supposed to get married to someone that is darker than you or as dark as you are. You are supposed to lighten the complexion. I don't know how saving is just like saving race. Or instead of going for a dark person, you go for a lighter person, just to save the race and the rest of man. This is like the worst kind of thing that I have heard. It's kind of not cool. Not cool. So people coming for her for speaking the truth, or South Africans. Like, are you people talking like we do not know that you all are like every other, like, I mean, the Indian South African saying that she is inciting it? No, she is not inciting hate. Things she said are reality. And also, I am sure there are Indians, other places, and I have been seeing online how crazy, like, they act when it comes to people that look like me. So, what is the brouhaha all about? Did she lie? She did not lie. But you all can really do better. I have also brought videos of Indians in America doing some certain, behaving some type of way or towards my own people. So how is that a coincidence, or is that just like, it's not. It's something you all have been doing. And I want you to know that because you all are not at the receiving end, I mean, like, joining force with people that are oppressing you to also oppress other people, that you think that you are just helping the white supremacists. And I really hope that you all can understand that it is not cool. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.